There's the beginning of a urethra. So you have a little inflammatory polyp there in the urethra, right there. See that?
Yeah.
Perfect. There's the mucus that I put in there, the gel. Goes to the muscle that controls the urine. The ridge is the beginning of your prostate. In there, and we go through there. And let's see if I can open that up. See, there's the prostate. The prostate is not restricted in there. You can see that. But there's your bladder neck is right there. You see that?
Yeah.
We can get into the bladder. Sorry.
That.
We have some words in there. More than you want. Quite a few. You see that?
Yeah. So they're back.
They are. And it's in a short period of time, and it's after you had the BCG. Which didn't cause you any reaction, did it?
No. No.
Isn't that amazing? Would you know what's making you go to the bathroom very often is this little warts.
Oh.
And that's why I felt that you were going to have to go, just feel like when I go to the bathroom now, right?
Yeah, I sure do now.
And you know what? Because when you put fluid in there, it makes the bladder irritable. And that's exactly what it is. So there it is. So you're going to need to have this all treated. But they're all superficial, which is a blessing. When they get deeper, if they get, you see that's one little tiny one. You see how superficial that is?
Yeah.
And the same thing happens in there. You see this is scar tissue? And around where the scar tissue was from the tumor, along the blood vessels, there's the new satellites growing in there. So we need to make sure, if you don't improve on this, we're going to trim all that out and make sure that it's gone. And we're going to give you what we call maintenance BCG, which will be 3 treatments every 3 months for a year. And hopefully that will get rid of that. And if not, you need something that's called gemcitabine, which is a chemical that kills the tumors from coming back. But you need to save that up. You see the urethra is not closed? It's open?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really pleased. I'm sorry, I don't want to irritate you. But that's exactly what it is. And that's what makes you go pee so often. It's not the restriction, it's the irritation on the lining of the bladder. So I need you to have something for bladder spasms. Do you take anything at home? You see how the tumor gets crusted on top?
Yep.
It gets calcified. That's really, it tells you that your body's fighting it off. It's all superficial. There's not infiltrating the muscle of the bladder, but it gets crusted. And the larger ones, they're really the same thing. Get crusted on the edge. Isn't that amazing? And you had no bleeding, eh? No symptoms of bleeding or anything like that?
No. And no sediment?
No?
No.
Well, you see, they all, some have more crusting than others, but definitely they're all there. You have a incredibly prolific mucosa here that makes this little warts. But fortunately, they're all growing into the lumen of the bladder. They don't grow into the muscle, which is great. But it needs definitely to be treated.
So the last several days I've been taking 2 Flomaxes a
and
day.
that will relax you to urinate less, but I want you to take something to decrease the frequency or the urgency, and it's called Tovias, and I'm going to give you the samples to take. And you take 1 a day. And that, in addition to the Flomax, will make the frequency and irritation a lot less. You see that patch of mucosa, how is that very well defined in comparison to the other around it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's where the problem is. Those are the cells that will tend to do. So you not only take the tumors out, but when you see the mucosa and it's abnormal, you cauterize it. See, that looks like an undersea world of Jacques Cousteau, and you can see this big, origins in there or something, and they're just there, definitely. And they're all, you see that it's in profile in there. It's growing into the lumen of the bladder, but not into the muscle of the bladder, which is wonderful. That is the best news. I mean, it's bad when you have them, but it's good when they're not infiltrating.
Yeah.
But it definitely needs treatment. And if not, they will start bleeding and cause you more problems. You don't want to wait until that happens. You see the little calcification in there? The center of that. That's what it is, and the prosthetic urethra is okay. So there's not blocked, but it is definitely the bladder irritated from all those works.